What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 83rd episode of the Console Corner. I am your host of tonight's show, SheWulf. This is obviously the number one source of all things gaming. If this is your first time listening to this show, we dive deep into the gaming industry news, games, and everything in between. We even hook you up with some of the best gaming deals around with Foxy deals from Foxy herself. And, of course, we also now have something new that we've been doing the last couple weeks. And, of course, that is What's Out Now with Magic Mike, to keep you up to date with any video games that maybe you didn't know had released at the time. So first, let me introduce our guest, or our panel of tonight's show. First off we have is Lady Foxfire.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? So yeah, I'm back. I missed last week, so I missed you guys. And thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us.
Of course. Next up we have is Nukem.
Kaboom! Nukem in the room. Here we go. Episode 83, the Console Corner. Stick around. It's going to be a good one.
Very true. Next up we have is Magic Mike.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Glad to be here.
That was short and sweet. Now, joining us tonight, I'm sure... Well, actually, you can't see because of the fact that you don't see the images down at the bottom. GKB is not with us here tonight. I'm assuming you guys guessed that because we're not on camera. But we do have the number one fan of the newest Xbox One release games, and that is Cuphead. And that means joining us tonight is Triple Cup Chuck.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Everybody on the panel, what's up? I see you. What's everybody in the live chat? It's your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. Cuphead just came out, and I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful night, and it's a beautiful year to be a gamer.
Oh, damn.
Absolutely agree.
Nice.
Absolutely agree. So as we always do, we go through what have you played in the past week. So going down the list, I'm gonna go from what is it? I guess it's right to left. With doing so, that means Triple Cup. What have you been playing?
Cuphead. I mean, I think my my statement and everybody else is gonna start off with
a dumb
the same.
question.
he's like, obviously.
You just said it so flat, too. You're just like, Cuphead.
Only fitting that he plays Cuphead.
Right.
Right.
It's unmistakable. But besides for Cuphead, I've been playing Madden. We got a dude named Tex. I've been giving him a little run for his money. He like one of the number one people I've seen in Madden, and I've been playing against him. I mean, I love Battlefield. You know, my dude, bro, games. I've been trying to keep it kosher. So everybody that be wanting to play, I'll be on there early in the morning. But that's pretty much all I've been playing. And Cuphead really been beating me down. That's a game I played for an hour. Had to sit back, catch my breath, you know, hit the little asthma pump, go back at it. Because when you can't,
I believe you.
yeah, it's hard. You can't breathe when you're playing because you're moving so fast. It looks simple, but when you're playing it, we're gonna get into it. But that's what I've been playing though.
Very true. Very true.
As I digress.
We will get more into, obviously, what everyone thought about Cuphead, a little bit more into the show. But going down the rest of the line, Newf, what did you play?
Go take a guess. Cuphead. Been playing Destiny 2 and some NHL 18. That's about it. Last couple of days, I actually haven't played a whole lot of games. I've been feeling a little bit tired and dragged out, so I haven't been playing as much, and just got to dabble a little bit with some old retro with the Super Nintendo Classic. Hope everybody had a chance to pick theirs up so far.
Nice. I haven't. But what about you, Mike? What have you been playing?
Well, I have also been playing some Cuphead. Great game. I'm enjoying it so much. But like Triple Cup Chuck said, we will get into that a little bit deeper later. And I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. I'm almost ashamed at how much I'm enjoying in Destiny 2 because of how against this game I was before it came out. But the more I get into it, like I don't know, like I'm really liking this. They really seem to have streamlined Destiny 1, and it's a great game. I'm really enjoying it.
Awesome. What about you,
Damn,
Fox?
I'm
what
shook.
Have you been
I am
playing?
shook that he's saying this after all the smack he was talking.
Oh, I have more gray hairs after I started realizing how much I was enjoying Destiny 2 than I ever had before it. So
He was like, "Oh man, this is actually good." All right. So yes, obviously, I've also been playing a little bit of Destiny 2 here and there. Actually, I've been playing a lot of games recently. Forza 6, because I was in the mood when everybody started getting their early copies of Forza 7, so I put 6 in there. A little bit of Sonic, some Gears 4. Today I played some Uncharted Lost Legacy, a really good game. I didn't know my brother had that copy for free, and I just started playing it as soon as I found out. And I played some Call of Duty Remastered. What? Yeah, you heard me right. I said Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Yeah, I've been playing that a little bit here and there. And of course, Cuphead, just like everybody else. And that game hates me. I think personally it hates me. It's a really tough game. But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Definitely, definitely. And of course, I have been playing so many different games that I don't know, I think my head is like going to explode. But overall, I've been playing like Destiny 2. I've been playing Fortnite, the PubG wannabe. I've been playing PubG. I've been playing what was it? There was a couple of other games that cuz I've been like obviously everyone knows I do a lot of streaming on Mixer and all that kind of stuff. So, play a lot of different games, and of course Cuphead, which we'll get
Nice.
into that cuz
Did you try the COD beta on the PC?
No, actually I didn't. I went to play it and I
okay.
ended up not getting into it, and I was like, that sucks cuz I didn't. I ended up missing the beta. But I will be playing the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta tomorrow for my live stream. So everybody,
I'll be playing that when I get home from work.
exactly, for anybody who pre-ordered and got early access, just a few hours away, and you will be able to play the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta multiplayer.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
So
Did anybody on the panel play the Fortnite PUBG mode?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I haven't played
But
it
I
yet,
have-
even though it's free to
I
play. I
haven't-
just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, I played it when it first came out, and now I hear that they added the squads or like team-based
They
part.
did. They added the squads.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet, but I'm looking forward to trying that and see how I like it.
That's true. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's definitely no PUBG. So.
She's like, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's not
Well, no,
PUBG.
it's very laggy. Like, it is the worst kind of laggy ever. Like, I was playing on my Xbox, so there was no reason for it to be, like, lagging out the way that it was. But it was, like, non-stop. I was so aggravated. So aggravated, because there was no reason that it should have been doing that. So, I was pretty annoyed with that. But
They're like,
Oh,
it's free, so
well.
it doesn't matter.
yeah, well, it's free. It's something to play. So as much as you know. But I just want to say to everybody, everyone who's watching, we really appreciate all you guys hanging out in the chat. We do see your messages. If you see me right, it'll obviously come across as Gamers Knows Best. So just remember, guys, that I'll be using that for writing in the chat, unless GKB finds some way to jump in, then obviously, but I'll have my name beside it so you know the difference. Other than that, I just want to say thank you everyone for stopping in and hanging out with us throughout the show. It really means a lot to us. And if you join the show later, make sure you guys leave your comments below. We love to hear what you guys think of the show, what you guys think could be better on the show, and so on and so forth. We love to hear from you. So let's get into the first topic of tonight. And I thought this one was probably the best one to start with. And of course, that's Cuphead, just because, hey, it is the newest game out on the Xbox One. And it is one of the fastest growing games that is kind of going right now, because Cuphead literally took everyone, not really by surprise, but more or less the fact that this game had got delayed before, which we all know about. And then all of a sudden, like, it came out and it was like, guess what? We're here. We're ready. And it just, everybody loves it. Cuphead is a classic run-and-gun action game heavily focused on boss battles. Oh my god, do I hate the boss battles. They destroy me so badly. So badly. But the coolest part about this game is it's inspired by cartoons of the 1930s. So a lot of us are like, wow, this kind of touches our heart, touches our soul about how, like, these are cartoons that, we saw when a lot of us were little and stuff like that. So it kind of makes things really great. And the visuals and the audios are just outstanding. That I'm sure everybody agrees with me. The whole jazzy recording kind of thing that they got going on is just completely amazing.
And I heard that the Cuphead vinyl soundtrack is, I think, number 9 on the Billboard charts for jazz music.
Mm-hmm.
So the music is really touching not just gamers out there, but even just jazz, people who love jazz music. They're picking the soundtrack up because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I
didn't know that.
That is actually really awesome. And I'm not surprised, like, in the slightest, because, again, it was a really amazing looking game. The audio is amazing. It pulls you in quickly. And it's one of those games that it's, like, really challenging, but at the same time you stop and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to throw my controller and rage. But it always draws you back because you're like, oh my god, I have to beat the damn thing.
Well, has everybody seen the artwork that is the Cuphead guy in the Dark Souls pose? Like he's the Dark Souls 3 cover.
Yeah.
Well,
he's got a sword.
It's funny because, like, a lot of people are drawing these comparisons, and to me, because I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, I do see the similarities there, because with Cuphead, it's a very hard game, but whenever you die, whenever you take that hit and your life meter goes down, you never feel like you were cheated, like there was no way of avoiding that. Most of the time, I know that I'm going to get hit the moment before it happens. Like, I'm just like, crap, I messed up, I'm gonna take that hit there. And that's what I really enjoy about it, is it's difficult, but it's very fair, and that to me is very, very similar and reminiscent of the Dark Souls series. Is it's very, very difficult, but very fair at the same time.
That is true.
Oh, damn.
Now,
It's scary when you point it out and you compare it to that. Very intimidating.
Now, of course, we know that one of our guests is one of the biggest Cuphead fans of all time. So let's get your opinion, your thoughts. Did it actually meet your expectations when it released?
Man, when I first played the game, it sucked. It was garbage. It was the worst game I ever played in my complete whole life. From Generation 3 all the way to Generation 8.
You do know that they do actually throw lightning bolts when people lie.
Yeah, I thought I was being Pinocchio. But
I think that only
would
works
help.
if they can see it.
Yeah.
So lightning bolts don't hit wood. But for real though, I like the game. It was fun. It was entertaining. Like pretty much like Mike had said, like it was hard. It was difficult. But when you died, it was pretty much on you. You that did it. You can't blame nobody. You felt like you did it. And the multiplayer, is one of those modes where it's real fun because y'all laughing and y'all giggling and a lot of profanity coming out each other mouth, and then you saying, help me, save me. You got to try to save this other person, but you get killed trying to save this other person. Now you mad at the other person for dying, and it's just the whole method of it. Just a fun game for anybody to pick up and just play. I don't know what Dean or Yakahachi, I think I pronounced his name right, was doing, but I think anybody could pick this game up and play. I don't care if you're a hardcore gamer or casual gamer or pick up a mobile device gamer. You know what I'm saying? But it's a pretty fun game. I just think they went a little bit overboard on the nostalgia. They could have toned it down just a little bit, but everything else, I give it a good 9.
Nice. My biggest thing is it's kind of like, it was ridiculously hard. Like, okay, I rage so badly. Now, I'm usually like, I hate these style of games. I do. But I still keep trying, even though, like, I'll rage and want to, like, throw my computer and, like, throw my controller and everything.
The whole computer.
Like, I do. I want to just, like, throw my whole computer and just be like, I'm done with you. Because some of those boss fights, like, even though it's simple, like, okay, for anyone who hasn't played Cuphead yet, the game mechanics of Cuphead are actually pretty simple to understand. You're literally just either you're jumping, you're smacking the pink things, or, you're trying to avoid the bosses. That's really about the gist of it. but it's the mechanics of everything that is going on as you're trying to do that. You'll get bosses that are throwing things, and then you'll get bosses that are constantly bouncing around and moving. So you have a lot of different things going on at once, and they put so much in. Like, one of the fights, for instance, you fight these two toads, and one, you're already fighting two of them. One shoots things, another one turns into a fan, so they're blowing you. You're trying to fight that, but you're also trying to avoid the things. So, like, there's a lot going on, and that's actually what gets so overwhelming that you're like, oh my god, seriously? Because the smallest thing kills you. And that's the worst part, is you have 3 lives, that's it. And you're like, oh my god, if anything touches me, you're dead. And there's just so much going on, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's an incredible game. I mean, let's start out with the graphics. I mean, it's the first thing you're going to see when you turn on the game, and they definitely pull you in. Like you said, it's basically a throwback to 1930s early animation. Fantastic job with the art style. That's the first thing that they really get right. Like I said, the soundtrack is whimsical. It's fun. It goes well with the game. They did a bang-up job on that. Play control. This game could have been a disaster if the play control wasn't on point, but it is solid. I mean, the characters are responsive. They move well. It's easy to pick up and play. Like Triple Cup said, you know, whether you're a casual gamer or you're hardcore, I think you can get into this game and enjoy it relatively easy. And I think the one thing it reminds me of is how we've taken for granted our childhoods of playing on the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, the NES era, because back in those days, a lot of games were crushingly hard, much like Cuphead is. But we didn't really think about it much back in the day because that was kind of the normal. Like when I remember playing Genesis games, that was just a trend. Like we didn't have those 40-hour games back in the day where that you would go through these massive levels and there was lots of story. Back in the day, you got longevity out of a game by replaying levels over and over and over again until you got them down pat, unless you had some sort of a cheat code or the Game Genie. That was the only way you could kind of skip through it.
Yeah.
So Cuphead really gets that down, you know what I mean? It brings you right back to your childhood, does it real, draws you in. You just want to keep playing because you get ever so close to killing those bosses, you know that? And they, like, for me, I'm always like just on the tip of the verge, and then I get hit and I die, and it's like, man, if I had one more hit, I'd beat this mother. And yeah. So a great game, man. They did a bang-up job. For the price, everybody should own this game if you love platformers and you just love a good time. And the fact that you can play couch co-op on it is just a bonus.
Yeah, okay. See, now that's where my one issue comes in with this game, is this game should have released with online co-op. Just because nowadays, co-op is one of the biggest things that sell games, and to make it only couch co-op, I think was a bad idea because friends like to play with their friends online, and a lot, like for instance, there's a lot of adults that play and they get home from work. Are you really going to go to your buddy's house and be like, oh dude, let's play some Cuphead? Nah, I don't think so.
Now, I did hear that they are considering adding an online co-op mode in the future with the future update.
In the future, yes, they have talked about it, but I just think it was something that should have... They took an extra year to begin with. I understand it was to, obviously, you know, they wanted to add more to the game itself, but then they should have put that mode in there while they were fixing the game over the last year. It would have just made more sense, and it probably would have helped it sell just a bit more. It already did amazing, guys, so I'm not saying that at all. The game sold amazingly and everything. And
yeah,
yes,
but at the same time, I kind of appreciate it being only couch co-op because, like Newf was saying, this game, the gameplay, the style, the difficulty of it's very reminiscent of games from the 80s and 90s. The difficulty in and of itself, it makes me feel like I'm playing games as a kid again, and it's kind of nostalgia on overload
so
because you've got the 1930s
cartoons. So does that mean you're gonna call up
cartoons.
your best friend and be like, dude, come over so we can play co-op?
Well, I mean, that's how it was back then.
Then, but this isn't... Okay, even though this game style has the game style of back then, it is still in the future. It is still supposed to, like, come on, don't even give me that.
Yeah, it's current. It's sweet that it does have that feature where it's like couch co-op, because you could play with your loved one, couples could play together, obviously, and then fight afterwards. Why not?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not gonna be a whole lot of love after you play with your loved one on that game.
And then, well, same thing with like Overcooked or whatever. But yeah, and then if anything, you could play with your siblings, which which is cool, but like I would have liked the option. So I agree with SheWulf. I would like the option to have online or local co-op when it comes to this game, because if my brothers aren't interested, which they are in the game, I mean, if they weren't, like, who am I gonna play with, you know? So it would have been nice to game with my friends online, like me and SheWulf could have played from
Yep.
across the way, you know?
And then you would have seen us never talk to each other because we would have been completely, utterly raged. But
It's-
How would you
no,
do
it's
it
gonna
online, Crow? So how would
test
you
our
do it
friendship.
online?
what's that?
Like how would no, I was saying how would you do it like 2 players for online? Because like the multiplayer on Cuphead is for a person to be able to just drop in and drop out the game instantly. So when they pick up the controller, they hit start, they can just jump into the game. Now if you're
No,
doing
obviously-
it online, how would somebody do it? They'd be on your friends list and they say, "Oh, you playing Cuphead," and they just jump in your game.
No,
That'd
it
actually
would
be
be
pretty
different.
cool.
Like it would probably be like a lobby and certain areas where you guys could play together. But it wouldn't be like automatically people could just jump into your game. I think
Okay,
they would
hold
have a little
on.
lobby
Okay.
system for it.
Wait a minute. Before everyone starts like this whole, oh my god. So many games come out nowadays that have online co-op that allow you to drop in and out of games or whatever. So there's no reason for that. Like there's literally a lot of indie titles that people probably don't realize that actually allow you to come in and out of the games that don't cause any form of issues. So I wouldn't use that as an excuse for them saying, oh, well, it could have changed whatever, because there's other games that have done it. And they're indie titles.
Yeah,
There's
but-
actually quite a few indie titles that do it.
If anything, I think Microsoft could have helped them with that aspect of it
Yes.
because they were so busy adding more to the game than just bosses. They were so busy drawing and getting all the details done with the game. So obviously, if they're a small team, it is going to take a long time for them to work all that stuff out. But I think Microsoft could have helped them. It's nice to hear that they are going to work on that for the future. But yeah, the game is hot right now, and I would have liked the option. Either way, it's a great game. It's so unique, and there's just something special about it. Even when you get frustrated with it, you still think about it. You still want to go back and play it again because of how unique and awesome it looks. And it has that amazing music that you're like, oh, I want to just listen to it. I don't even have to play.
I think part of it, though, is they want to see what demand they're also going to have for this game to see how well it really sells. Because obviously maintaining a server, to have people playing it in the capacity that people are playing Lawbreakers might not be a very good ordeal. But if there's...
but Microsoft has... They have their dedicated servers that they could have put to this game.
Yeah, and there's also, you got to look at the lag factor because this game needs to be so precise. Anybody that is not having a solid connection to this game is going to die even more so, just because of lack of response or things like that. So that has to be spot on for this game.
Again, there's other indie titles that do this. Like, okay, so there's for instance, what is that? One of the newest ones that released. It's like you play as like two gooey people. What the hell is it called?
Slime Rancher?
No. That's single player.
The one that you something swap or whatever that you.
It's got like
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's got like that you play as a red or a blue guy.
Yeah,
I know
what you're talking about. I forgot the name of
I'm
it.
talking about too, but I can't think of the name of it.
The funny part is that name is like the weirdest name ever, but I can't think of it because it's almost like they're trying to like say like use a bad word, but it's not actually a bad word. I can't think of what the hell it's called now.
Something happens.
Something
happens instead of shit happens. It says something else.
Something like that, yeah. But still, there's that game. There's also like I believe it's like Death Square or something like that. Like there's other indie titles that have released lately that really determine, being in a group and actually like making sure that you keep your teammate alive, and a lot's going on, and yet there's still online co-op with no issues. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I understand where you guys are coming from with this whole thing, but I just think that would have been something that was very more beneficial. So.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked the option.
That's just my opinion, I guess.
Oh, Supersonic Station in the chat, he just said that the PC version has online co-op for Cuphead, so why doesn't the console version have it if the PC does?
Well, no,
Wait,
With
what?
the PC is a workaround though. It ain't nothing that comes in the game. They gotta hook up like 10 different devices like they on the Nintendo Switch trying to do
okay. So it's not
something-
native. They're trying to do like some kind of it's trickery. It's all trickery.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Interesting. Oh no.
Nerd. You're a nerd.
I thought of Mr. Burns
You're a
when
nerd.
y'all did that.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Speaking of Cuphead, I do have a code
seriously
from
going to- Never
a
mind.
special lady. So shout out to Luca who gave me a code to give away for everybody watching, and I will let you guys know later on the question, and then you guys can DM me on Twitter and stuff like that for that. But oh yeah, and I just opened my Twitter, so the DMs are open now. So yeah,
Wait, how are you doing the giveaway?
I'm going to ask a question. Um, I'm thinking of a question to ask for the giveaway.
All right, so everybody, if you have not had the opportunity to buy Cuphead yet, which we all recommend that you guys do, because no matter what, whether it's online or not, I'm still saying it's an amazing game. Everybody does need to play it. But Fox will be doing a giveaway for a copy of Cuphead,
Yes.
provided from Luca, who is an amazing.
Luca's awesome. She's in the
lady.
chat.
Yes, she is in the chat. But the code was given by her. So if you guys would like to enter in the giveaway, wait for Fox to ask her question, and you will have to, like she said, DM. You have to DM her on Twitter, which she,
Yeah.
I believe she posted her Twitter. So make sure you guys pay attention and watch.
Yeah, keep your ears open.
She'll just stop me out of nowhere and just ask a random question. So don't worry.
While she was talking, I'll just randomly blurt out the
That
question.
works. Hey, it works. It works. I'm fine with that. All right. So let's jump into another topic, which is PubG is going to. Oh, okay. So, one of the things that speaking, the fact that PubG is, or not PubG, sorry, that Cuphead was exclusive. What does everybody think about the fact that there has actually been talk about PubG is possibly looking at coming out to PlayStation now? Are we really surprised at this? Are you guys surprised? Are you guys annoyed at this? Do you guys not really care about the fact, PubG is in talks of going to PlayStation?
I honestly, I don't care. I know there are a lot of Xbox fans out there who are upset about this, but personally, I think it makes sense for the developer to release it on as many platforms as possible. And also it's not going to make my experience with the game any less, knowing that people on another piece of hardware are also able to play it. So the whole I know that people want there to be a console identity and console exclusives and all that kind of stuff, and I can understand that. But for me personally, whether the game is available on only the Xbox or only PC or only PlayStation, or if it's available on all three, or if it's also coming out on the Switch and the 3DS and the Vita and every other piece of hardware that you can think of, if it's available on my Xbox and I get to play it, I'm still going to enjoy it. And it doesn't take anything away from me knowing that other people are out there enjoying it as well. What I would like to see is the PUBG developers kind of also make that request of Sony to allow cross-platform multiplayer, because we know kind of from the Fortnite accident that cross-platform multiplayer works. Whether or not that was true or doctored or whatever was going on there, it seems like it's something that we should have by now. It's 2017, so why can't I play with my brother who has a PS4 while I'm playing on my Xbox, or why can't I play with my cousin who's a PC gamer while I'm playing on my Xbox, or anything like that? Minecraft is implementing it with their newest update. So I don't care that it's going to other platforms. I'm still going to enjoy the game, and I would just like to see more platforms come together instead of being that divide between gamers.
Make a great point. Anybody else?
About PUBG coming to PlayStation?
Yeah, but
Are you guys all asleep?
I mean,
do I need to send you guys some virtual coffee to wake you guys up?
I need a Red Bull badly. No, it doesn't bother me either way. It's just kind of weird that it was mentioned recently. We don't even have it yet. Why is PlayStation already getting talked about? So that was kind of weird to me. I just want to know when we're getting it and when is the release date for the Xbox before I start hearing about other consoles. But I mean, it doesn't bother me either way when they get it later on. I know they don't have a preview mode, so we're gonna get it and we're gonna be enjoying it for a long while before it goes over there, and then it becomes a whole thing where everybody's playing it, and then people are probably going to get tired of it later on. Because
Yeah.
right now it's just such a hype level right now because it's a PC thing. So I mean, we want to get our hands on it, but we have to wait. So yeah, like I don't care that
Yeah,
PlayStation's
well, I
getting
think
it.
personally, just because Microsoft is looking to move consoles, okay, like PUBG is legitimately, at least for the time being, one of the biggest names that they have, one of the biggest things underneath their umbrella from a publisher standpoint. Now, it would be nice to lock it down. I know it would ease the minds of many an Xbox fan, and they could, go all in on this particular title. But I think the reservation is that Microsoft are very reluctant these days to spend a lot of money on properties that maybe for whatever reason they're not quite convinced are going to be as huge as we might think they are. And I think, like, I mean, people say, yeah, go out and buy it, Microsoft, you got the money. But, well, what if they do spend, say $25 million or $100 million or whatever it might be to buy the property, and it doesn't make sort of back its money? You know what I mean? Like, just because it's successful on PC doesn't guarantee success on the console format necessarily. You know what I mean? And personally, yeah, if it comes to both systems, what odds? Who cares? Everybody gets to play a great game. It's a benefit for all gamers, but it definitely would be good if Microsoft could lock it down for an extended period of time. And apparently, I'm hearing some articles going around that they are approaching the developer again as a Bluehole and looking to maybe extend that deal. So it's only a positive, I mean, from a Microsoft perspective, but as far as all gamers, if they get to play it, that's good for everybody, that sort of thing. So I really don't care. I think it's a pretty good game, and whatever happens, happens, I guess, at this point.
I think that Fox had it right when she said, why are we hearing about this now, that it's going to PS4 when it hasn't even come out of Xbox One? It makes me think a lot about, Rise of the Tomb Raider. We ended up hearing that Rise of the Tomb Raider was a timed exclusive before the game ever launched. And it really makes me think, like, what is the motivation behind getting that information out there? Is it I mean, this is gonna sound very fanboyish, but I feel like the Xbox community as a whole is not as needy. They don't want to beg as much as the PlayStation community, and I'm not. I've got a lot of friends that play PlayStation. It's nothing negative. There's a very small percentage of players who are part of the online community, just like there is with the Xbox community. Like the people that we interact with daily, they're not the broader audience that everybody's reaching out to. So I'm not talking about PlayStation like a blanket or anything like that, but I'm just saying there are people in the PlayStation community that seem to create this kind of drama when it comes to console exclusives. I mean, I've been seeing petitions for Cuphead to come to Xbox or PlayStation and all that kind of stuff, and we don't really see that a whole lot with the Xbox community. I don't remember people begging for Neo to come to Xbox, or for other third-party exclusives like Nier Automata. I don't know a lot of people that were like creating petitions or anything like that, and it makes me wonder, why is it that the developers cave to these people on social media, where they'll come out and say, like, hey, it will be coming to PlayStation in the future, when we don't have that happening with other games that may or may not come to Xbox in the future. And it to me, it speaks of the community as a whole, that we're not beggars. We're happy with what we have. And that to me is the big difference. And that was the only thing that I could think of when they talked about PUBG coming to PS4. It's just like, oh man, it's another Rise of the Tomb Raider situation.
Yeah.
See, my whole thing about like PUBG and PlayStation, one, I start to wonder a little bit if Fortnite had something to possibly do with this turn of events as well, because Fortnite released their Battle Royale, which then also covered on all consoles, not just only Xbox, and which then also takes over that gaming community part of it, because they get that experience, but not of the real game. So did that anger the PUBG developers in any way? So they're like, oh, well, you know what? We'll just bring it to PlayStation eventually, and then, So, like, we don't know the behind the scenes of really what's going on exactly. Now, again, we saw tweets of, like, things going on about, oh, well, it looks like this is what's, it could happen. It's still not actually fully confirmed unless somebody can post in the chat and tell me, oh, no, they confirmed it fully. Because just because people talk doesn't mean it's going to happen. We've seen that with a lot of, there's actually been a lot of titles lately. If people stop and think about the games that have come from PlayStation to Xbox and Xbox to PlayStation, there's been a lot of titles that were apparently only exclusive to one console, but then came over about a year later. So to hear that PUBG could be going to PlayStation, yes, I do agree. Timing was actually really bad on their part because, again, it is like a Tomb Raider instance where it should have never been announced like this until we got the actual release date for the Xbox One version. I do definitely agree with that. But the aspect of it going to PlayStation, don't be surprised. A lot of games are crossing over between all the consoles because that is how they make money, that is how they keep the games going, and that is how you get more of a game, like more out of a game in the future because they're still bringing in the income. Yes, Xbox can buy this game. However, they're still only going to be able to sell it to so many people on the Xbox. It's the same thing with with the PC. They can only sell it to so many people, because it's still only one system. You bring it to an Xbox, that's a whole nother wide of a community to sell it to. Okay, well, there's only going to be so many people that buy it, and then once they buy it, they're not going to buy it again, so the income stops. So what do? You go to the next console, which will then bring in a whole nother revenue, so that you can keep building bigger and better games. And that's what I think a lot of people miss.
Oh, damn. Yep. I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with SheWulf a lot about that, about the game got to keep maneuvering because it's that type of game. It's gonna go to all systems. And when people saying Microsoft need to buy, but y'all need to buy PubG, and I was saying, but the only person that probably from the Xbox saying now they don't need to purchase them because they're looking, okay, y'all coming to our system first. We gonna get the rights to be able to talk about PubG coming to our system first, so we don't have to purchase y'all. Then on top of that, about time it do come to the PlayStation, all these other big AAA games gonna adopt the whole strategy of how PUBG is with the battle royale. So now that game gonna be pretty much obsolete because when the Call of Duty is in the battlefields, so you get these type of modes. Now PUBG is obsolete. So by the time the PlayStation get it, it's gonna be pretty much obsolete. So why waste money in trying to lock this game down? They could keep it like this here, let it stay in the PC, come to Xbox, get the exclusivity, and then go to the PlayStation.
Right. Well, and not to mention the fact that the developer of PUBG, Bluehole, have they done anything else other than PUBG? Do we know that they have the potential to do something else after PUBG? This could be like a one-off for them. Yeah, it's incredibly popular, but why would Microsoft take that risk of buying this developer? Or, as a developer, if Microsoft were to come to you and this is the only thing that you've produced that has value to it, why would you sell that IP off to them? So, I mean, there's just a lot of things that don't add up. If Microsoft were to purchase PUBG, it doesn't make sense for any of the parties involved.
Okay, well, first off, Bluehole actually created the MMO Terra, which is supposed to also be coming to Xbox. So that's actually a pretty big, once again, PC game. I don't know if a lot of people knew that, but they actually created a couple of games. They also created another MMO game. I don't remember the exact. I know it started Devil something.
I think it's like most of the developers there, they worked on other stuff. Yes, I don't know if it was exactly everybody that's still on it now that has the same experience from those other titles.
And please don't think that I was saying like Bluehole is not a studio worth investing in. That's not what I meant at all. It's just me personally, I don't know anything else that they've developed that would be of value to warrant Microsoft spending the money to make them first party.
They just have to prove themselves. That's all.
That's true. No, I didn't mean it that way. I meant more or less like they have actually created a couple of MMOs that are actually pretty big in the PC world. Like Terra is actually a pretty big MMO that, like I said, is actually one that's going to be coming over to the Xbox, which definitely explains why it's
I didn't think you meant it that way. I was more or less defending myself to the worldwide audience that could listen to us on YouTube.
Of course.
But yeah, there's like way more to this, like behind the scenes that we don't know about. Probably smaller things, other things that like regarding some people don't care if they mention PlayStation or not because I guess some just expect that yeah, everything's going to PlayStation eventually because they do have the biggest player base, you
Mm-hmm.
know, or because they're on top right now and whatnot. So people are just like, yeah, might as well say it because it doesn't matter. Others like to keep that in the down low and wait and see. Like I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care because I just want to know when it's coming out for us on the Xbox. But
Exactly.
maybe, like you mentioned earlier, it maybe had something to do with the fact that the whole Fortnite thing, so they kind of, mentioned it as a nudge in case some people on the PlayStation also want to wait. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Fortnite's free to play, so it's not like anybody on the PlayStation, like, even if they want to wait out for PubG, it's not like, they're wasting money on Fortnite. So,
Yeah, but maybe they just want that realism instead of the
right,
different
right.
style that like Fortnite has, that's cartoony and whatnot, and they're just probably play something else and not waste their time because they'll know it'll be coming. But
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. It's nothing wrong about. There's nothing wrong with Fortnite and trying it out either way, because you do get that little taste of PUBG, even if it's it's like a kiddie version or a
Exactly.
lesser of the two or whatever. I don't know.
Hey, but why they always busting the Xbox bubble though? So when it's these time exclusives, they always gonna have to mention it on the PlayStation. I mean
Yeah.
that part still kind of irks me. Like why would,
Yeah.
like how you were saying, why would they even mention it about the PlayStation and it haven't came out for the Xbox yet, and it's still gonna be in a preview program for who knows how long? Might be
Right.
long. How awkward is a year or two?
I mean,
And
it's still in early access on PC. Like we don't have
Hey.
a final release on PC yet, and we're getting the
Oh
sort
yeah.
of preview program on
True.
Xbox. PlayStation doesn't have any sort of early access or preview program to speak of. So who knows? This may not come to PS4. Like it may not come 1 year later. Like you're not going to see it on PS4 in November of 2018. This may not come to PS4 until there's a final release, and that could be God. Who only knows how long?
Yeah. I think they just say that because they don't want to be in anybody's bad side. And like everybody just wants to be friends with everybody that likes PlayStation, whether it be in the media or developers and stuff like that. So maybe they just mentioned it because they don't want to get hate, and then at least maybe it'll come over. Who knows? But they do that for everything, not just Tomb Raider. They did it for
Yeah.
Dead Rising 4 and stuff like that.
No, I think that's a really good point from a developer perspective. If they've been paying attention to what's been going on in gaming media the past 4 years, anything that is specifically Xbox doesn't tend to do as well from the media perspective. So, yeah, that's a great point. Maybe they're just trying to make sure they don't get those negative reviews and negative
Yep.
articles to come out
You also,
because there is the chance that this game will be coming to other platforms.
you also have to look at the fact that usually, even if there's just there doesn't even actually have to be an announcement that this is happening. But if somebody says it and then they keep pushing it and then the social media puts it, sometimes it hadn't even happened yet. So the easiest thing for the developers to do is just come out and say, hey, no, we're in talks about it, but it's not guaranteed. And
Yeah.
it's better for them to just come out and say that. And of course, come on, Twitter seems to be like the biggest, like,
Yeah, be wary of social media because Tom Petty died like twice yesterday.
Oh wow.
it's the thing is, like, when it comes to Twitter and stuff, like, everybody's tweeting this and they're tweeting that, and then there's other accounts that are saying this. And do you know how many PUBG accounts are out there? Like, obviously there's only one real one, but there's a lot of them, and it only takes for one of them to just even initiate a tweet like that, which then gets the social media going, which then, of course, PUBG has to come out and say something. And truthfully, are we surprised, again, that they're just in talks with PlayStation? Wouldn't you be? Like,
Yeah,
if you're
no,
a big game like
absolutely.
this, like...
If you've got 60 million PS4s out there and what are we at, like 35 to 40 million Xboxes out there? Yeah, why would you cut out more than half of your potential buyers? It just, again, it comes down to the whole console war thing where I don't feel like, a game only being available on one console is diminishing my enjoyment of the game on the console that I prefer.
Exactly. But it's that time, so we're going to jump into the first segment of the night, and that is...
Bang, boom, kapow, it's What's Out Now. Are those really the lyrics?
Don't question my genius.
Take it away, Mike.
All right, so we have seen some awesome releases coming out in the past week. So going back to last Thursday, the 28th of September, we got the release of Total War Warhammer 2 on the PC. It's a turn-based real-time strategy game. It's Warhammer. If you don't know what Warhammer is, welcome to video gaming. Also, on the next day, Friday the 29th of September, for the PC, we got the Call of Duty World War II beta that we talked about a little bit earlier. So PC players finally got a chance to try out that Call of Duty beta. That same day, for the PC and the Xbox One, we've talked about it just a tiny bit here, a little game called Cuphead. It's a great throwback to games of old. It's more of a boss rush side-scroller. But I mean, it's one of the hardest games I've played in ages. It's real challenging. It's real fun. Definitely check it out. If we didn't convince you earlier, check it out now. That same day, Friday the 29th, we saw a console release of the SNES Mini. It's the follow-up to the NES Mini. Apparently, there's more available this time, which is awesome. It's packed with a lot of great titles, and it's got the very awesome unreleased Star Fox 2. So hopefully I'll be able to go out this weekend and pick one up. Who knows, they might be already sold out. But I've heard that there's stock available up until the holidays. So don't go and buy these on eBay for $600. You'll be able to get one later if you haven't got one yet. Also on Friday, for the PC, the PS4, the Switch, and the Xbox One, we're covering all bases here. We got FIFA 19. It's like FIFA 18, but shinier. Also that same day, for the 29th of September on Friday, for the PS4, we got Gundam Versus. This originally came out in Japan back in July. It is the first of this series of games to come out to the West. It's basically a Gundam fighting game. They've always had an arcade version to go along with it. This is the first one that's a console version only. It's, if you like Gundam and you like fighting games, I'd say it's worth checking out on the PS4. Then today, Tuesday, October 3rd, for the PC, the PS4, and the Nintendo Switch, we got a game called Battle Chasers Night War. This is a JRPG based on the comic book series Battle Chasers, so if you like that type of gameplay, go ahead and check that out. Also today, for the PS4 and the Xbox One, we got Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This is a remaster of the game of the same title, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Originally it was Dragon's Dogma, then they came out with Dark Arisen for the 360 and PS3, which had all the DLC. This is just basically a remaster that has all the DLC from the 360 and PS3 days. And today, for the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One, we got the second episode of Batman: The Enemy Within. It's the second episode to the second season of the Telltale Games' epic take on the Batman character. I am going to be downloading this as soon as I get out of the show tonight, and I'm looking forward to playing this. If you played the first episode, you know what you're in.
Incoming Joker.
Yeah, we're going to be getting some Joker coming up. Also, it's the beginning of a new month. So for the Xbox Game Pass, we had 7 games added to it this month. For the Xbox One, we got The Bug Butcher. We got State of Decay, the Xbox One version. So for all you people excited for State of Decay 2 coming out early next year, you might definitely want to get this on your Game Pass because it's going to prepare you for that game coming out. Also, we got Saints Row Gat Out of Hell, the remastered Xbox One version. We got a game called Cursed Castilla, and we got Tower of Guns and Costume Quest 2. We also got the Xbox 360 back-compat version of Super Street Fighter 4 added to the Xbox Game Pass. And speaking of backwards compatibility, in the backwards compatibility program for Xbox One, we saw 2 games come out this week: Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Call of Daddy.
I like Call of Duty.
I like
Call of
that
Duty's way
Let's
better.
play some Call of Daddy.
I'm in.
Oh yeah. I didn't even know that they came out with Advanced Warfare for the 360, but apparently they did. So if you have that on the 360 and you have an Xbox One, don't worry about upgrading. It's now backwards compatible. And we also got the game from the 360 called Sonic Adventure. And there you go. That is what we had added to backwards compatibility, the Xbox Game Pass, and all of the new releases in the past week. That's what's out now.
Damn. There's quite the list. All right.
Awesome. I'm gonna pick up Call of Duty.
Yeah, we want to play that Call of
Professional.
Daddy. Come on.
I have a question for the giveaway. So if you guys are interested in Cuphead, get ready, because the question is, all right, how many devs made Cuphead besides the 2 brothers, obviously? So, send me a message on Twitter. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now, and yeah, just send me a number. How many devs made Cuphead?
All right, so Fox, write the question and your Twitter in the chat.
I did.
Oh, never mind. Sherry beat me to it, guys.
got
Sorry,
you.
is
do
that like
not
how many people
answer.
are in the company that made it?
Yeah, the devs from the studio that made Cuphead.
Minus the 2 that was the
Okay.
brothers.
Well, you could add them along to the
You
number,
guys
so
are
yeah,
gonna
it's fine.
confuse them. Do not
How many
answer
devs made
in the
Cuphead?
chat, guys. You must DM Fox the answer.
Yeah.
You cannot put it in the chat. It will not count. You must DM Fox on Twitter the answer if you want to win. Just letting you guys know.
Yes.
Yes,
Alright.
DM Fox on Twitter. You heard that for the second or third time.
Well, sometimes you have to repeat things a few times. All right. So the next topic, this one I thought was kind of interesting because again, we're talking about games and stuff that are kind of hidden to the heart. And so it's been announced the Duke is coming to the Xbox One, whether you want it or not, people. Whether you want it or not. Microsoft is preparing for the release of the 4K Xbox One X, as we all know, this winter. But before then, it wants to draw your attention to the past, and of course that is the original Xbox Duke controller, which is actually pretty awesome. I'm excited to see this. Shameless Blackley has been, I guess, working on this, and you know, he's super stoked to bring this, and you know, he wants to do the redesigned version of the controller for the Xbox One and for Windows. So are you guys excited for this? Are you guys gonna look into getting this controller, or is this kind of like a hit or miss?
Nope.
Let me just start off by saying I got small hands on a pair of Sasquatch mitts, so I don't really care for the giant ugly ass controller.
Wow. Wow.
Well, what I think this is going to be nice for is for the original Xbox backwards compatible titles, for people that really want to get that feel of playing original Xbox games. This is going to be a great addition for them to add to their controller lineup. But for I feel like for the most of us, the Duke controller, we've moved past that. Every controller iteration between the Xbox OG to the Xbox 360 up to the current Xbox One, and even the Elite controller that we have right now, every controller has been better than the one before it. So I don't see myself wanting to go back to the Duke, but I can see that there are a lot of people out there who would like that, and I think that LCD screen that it has on it, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for them to do cool things to customize the controller for people.
That is true. I really think this controller, I think a lot of people are going to buy it for the sentimental value of it, but it's probably going to stay in the
Nostalgia.
box. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I think collectors are gonna pick it up. Like I seen some YouTubers that are retro
Mhm.
gamers and whatnot, and they want to pick it up for sure. Some people might use it like crappy. I don't know. Didn't GKB said he was interested in picking that up?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to use it though.
Oh, okay. So he's just gonna collect it. Yeah, I can see people definitely collecting it, if anything. But no, I'm not interested in that controller. It's too big. It's too crazy. I'm good. It looks
Custom
awesome.
graphics and
I
full
have
else.
Echo. I don't need any other controller.
That's the name of your Elite, right?
Yeah, that's the name of my Elite controller. It's Echo. So
You the first person that named your Elite controller.
what?
Hey.
What? Everybody got to name their Elite controller if you went into
Yeah.
As soon as
the
you-
Xbox
okay.
accessories app.
So y'all saying I'm the only person that didn't name the controller?
Probably.
Oh
Like,
wow.
you
Oh,
literally, as
my
soon as
Elite
you
has got a name.
start, okay, so as soon as you like plug your computer, like your Elite controller into the thing, and you go to the button mapping for the first time, it says,
Yeah.
"Would you like to name your controller?" And it
And I
says it
probably
right
said
there.
no.
You literally could have like, wow. So you're not original. Goodbye.
Hey, okay,
No.
that's like my next dog. My next dog probably gonna be named Dog. So
Wow.
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 That's,
Okay. Interesting.
Hey, I started out calling my controller Joy, and after the first couple of weeks, I renamed it Stick.
So Fox, apparently people are having issues DMing you.
No,
Did
it's
you
open. I'm getting
actually
DMs
open
from
it?
people.
Are you following them?
But I put open, so it's anybody can DM me.
Well, alrighty. Just
hey,
saying.
but they can keep
people
that black and white button on that Duke controller, and you know how instead they had the bumpers, you know we have now they got the black and white button. They should make the new controllers with the black and white button and put like one of them could be like a record that button, and the other one could be like a share button. You know, it could be something simple like that instead of, and you all make it a 6-button layout, you know what I'm saying? And then the paddles, they can add the little spots where the paddles can be at. That's what they need to do. Now they can take the Duke controller and leave it where it's at, but it's for the collector, so I understand. But if they need to put money, they need to invest money into making the controllers that we have even better, and not this color design lab that is coming up with a billion different colors. They need to just take their time and make a better controller. Like the controller we have is awesome, but you know what I'm saying, you can always improve on it. That's why I say like the regular controller could at least have paddles or the black and white button for sharing stuff like that. You know, every controller, they should add some new things to make you want to purchase it.
So you're saying basically like take the Elite controller and add like a record that and a screenshot button.
Right.
Yeah, even putting a name on it, because when you go to tell people when they're using the controller, you're like, hey, press that, I don't know, that little weird button over on the left that looks like 2 TV screens. You know what I mean?
You mean the view button instead of the select button?
Exactly. That's exactly right. See what I mean?
I still call them start and select. They should at least write start and select at the bottom of it, because you know that the look of it is stupid. They try to be like a laptop.
You know, back in 2013, it made sense because on Android cell phones, we had a menu that looked exactly like the menu button, and we had a view button that looked exactly like the view button. But, you know, nowadays, the developers, they didn't use the buttons the way that they were, I think, originally intended by Microsoft, whereas the view button would be used to change views between games and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know why they chose those names for the buttons. But, yeah, I would like start and select to come back. Because, you know, you're never going to have a Konami code with view and menu.
True. That is true. Very true. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. And like I said, I think a lot of people are just going to end up buying it and leaving it in the box and putting it up just to have it. But I don't think a lot of people are really going to be using it. The idea is
No,
cool.
I don't even see myself buying it, but I know there is a dedicated fan base out there that will.
Yeah, that's true. Alrighty, so we're going to jump into now what I know a lot of people have been waiting for, and of course, that is Foxy Deals.
When you're short on funds, but you want to have fun, trying to find the price of things you just right. Hey man, that's a steal. Listen up, it's Foxy Deals.
Take it away, Foxy.
Alright, before I start, I just want to say congratulations to Supersonic Station. You won, even though you sent me a whole bunch of numbers. You were the first one to get it right. So yeah, bro. You can stop DMing me now.
What was the answer?
20. Yes. So, Supersonic Station, you got it, bro. I'm going to DM you the thing in a second. But yes, let's start with the Foxy's deals around. Let me know in the chat if you guys missed me last week. You know, little hashtag Foxy Deals. I would appreciate that. But don't forget to pick up your games with gold because they just added the new ones on there. So, Gone Home and Rayman 3. So, pick those up for sure. And the deals with gold that stood out to me are BioShock, the collection is $30. Every time I see this game on sale, it's always $30, and I'm like, oh my god, can you go a little lower? But yeah, besides that, you could also pick up the 360 copies of BioShock as well. So if you guys are interested in any of those. They also have Dirt Rally, that's $15. I think that game's actually pretty tough. They have Final Fantasy 15. They have 2 SKUs of that, so that's 25, and the other one is 37 and change. They also have Injustice 2. They have 2 SKUs of that, but neither of them are the regular edition. So the deluxe edition is 48, and the ultimate edition is 60. So if you guys are interested in Injustice 2, check those out. And the last one that Jamie Moran was pointing out last night, and what was it? Reprobate? Yeah, so shout out to them because they sent me Mad Max. That is $5.
Isn't
Over
that
on
on
the
Steam, though?
No, it's on Xbox. It's $5 on Xbox.
I thought
Or
that
Mad
was
Max.
a Steam deal. GKB was
No.
telling me about that one.
Maybe they're on sale on both.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But yeah, over on the PlayStation side with, PlayStation Plus, we have, everybody's favorite that they're raving about and everybody's playing right now as we speak. Lawbreakers is 22.49. Bad joke? Too soon? All right. And then we have Nier Automata is 39. We have Uncharted Lost Legacy, which I was rocking today and it was awesome. It's $30. Um, and then they have like a couple of different indie collections as well, which they have different prices and things. And don't forget to pick up your PlayStation Plus free games as well. And they have Phantom Pain, from Metal Gear. Some online deals that I found for you guys. The first one that stands out is on Amazon, and that's Batman Return to Arkham Collection for the PlayStation, though, and that's $20. We also have Uncharted again, but this is a physical copy, and that is $30 as well. So that one's on Amazon as well. Another Amazon deal, because I love Amazon so much. Injustice 2, the regular edition on the Xbox One, is 41 and change, if you guys want to pick that up. And also, Injustice, the first game, is actually on sale on Xbox right now, and that is $8, and it's back compat, if you guys were interested. And then we have at GameStop, Wolfenstein, the double pack, or the 2-pack, where it has the first 2 games on there, and that is $20 for both Xbox and PlayStation. If you guys have any other deals that you want to send my way, if Newf wants to jump in and add something, let me know right now. No? Okay, cool. So yeah, I will be posting all these deals, like
I think that was
everything.
supposed to be an attempt at sleeping, but it was like more sound like you had a really bad cold and was trying to like.
Yeah, I thought someone was
snort.
blowing their nose or something like that.
I
Nah,
thought he was
I got
Tony
nothing,
Montana.
Fox. Yeah, I'm not gonna jump in on your parade. That's okay.
Nah,
You
and he
are.
was acting dead asleep. That's what he was doing. I got it. But yeah, I'm gonna post all these deals on Twitter later on. And if, like I said, if you guys want to add anything to that, just send it my way with the DMs. They're still open. So yeah, back to you, SheWulf.
Awesome. So speaking of games with gold, I figure we'll touch on this quickly before the show ends and stuff like that. Games with gold is actually pretty interesting. We have Gone Home, The Turning Test, Rayman 3 HD, and Medal of Honor Airborne. What do you guys think about the games with gold? Are you guys looking forward to any of these games, or is this kind of another?
No,
It's cool.
I'm really excited for the games with gold this month. Gone Home. I've been hearing great things about Gone Home for probably the past like 2 or 3 years now. I remember talking about it to a friend of mine years ago, and because I don't have a gaming PC, I didn't get a chance to play it. So now I know it came out on the Xbox One and the PS4 a while back. I was very interested, but I was always kind of hesitant about buying it. And now that it's coming to me with games with gold, I'm super happy to get that game. The Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, Medal of Honor game. That's also a game I didn't have for 360, so I'm looking forward to that. And what was the other Xbox One game? The Turing Test. That was a game that I was extremely interested in buying, but again, I couldn't really justify spending the money on it. So now knowing that my Xbox Live, yearly subscription is going to pay for that, I'm really happy about the game options that we're getting this month. The Rayman game, I can pass on that, but the other 3 games, I'm really happy to get those.
Nice. It's kind of funny because like the Turning Test, GKB actually he wanted that game, and we had a little extra money, and he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna buy this. It's on sale, and he was all happy and stuff. And then now it came. Games with gold. He could have got it for free instead of spending money. I find it funny whenever you want these games, you're like, oh, they're on sale. Might as well get them, and then all of a sudden you see them come.
Don't even tell me about that. What was it? 2 or 3 weeks ago, I bought a game, and 2 days later, it ended up on the deals with gold. So it wasn't free, I could have bought it for half price 2 days later. But I already put the number of hours into it where I couldn't return it or anything like that. And even if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't do that. But still, I completely understand GKB buying the game and then it coming out, 1 or 2 weeks later on Games with Gold. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah. I just think it's funny, but I do think that these games are really interesting, and I hope everybody checks them out because they are actually pretty decent games.
Oh yeah, I already downloaded Gone Home. I'm interested to check that out. And then the Turning Test for sure. The 360 games, I'll add them to my collection, but I don't need to try those out. I don't need to
Yeah.
play those.
I
If
mean,
anything, Rayman is for my niece.
yeah, Rayman 3 is a pretty solid title. They've always been known for having some pretty good platforming games. It's not a bad title, especially, if around your house you got kids or you just maybe looking for another decent platform to play. Medal of Honor Airborne is actually a pretty decent shooter in itself. It was one of those games last gen that basically I think I dabbled in, but never got to play it too much. So I'll probably download that one as well. I think you were recently playing it as well. I think, Foxy, weren't you?
Yeah, bro, I did a video about it, Throwback Thursday. It was kind of like
Oh.
playing Call of Duty 3. It was really weird.
Yeah,
I'll have to
honestly,
check
I
it
don't think
out.
I've played a Medal of Honor game since the PS1 era, so I'll be looking forward to jumping back into this.
Yeah, the one on the list that doesn't get me is that Gone Home, because it looks too much like a boring walking simulator, and I played a couple of those on PlayStation that just about drove me bonkers because they were so damn dull and boring. The other one actually looks kind of cool, though, the Turing Test, and so I might have to give that a try. We'll see what happens. Not a bad lineup, but as I've said on multiple podcasts already in the last couple of weeks, and I may have brought it up in Console Corner in the past, I honestly think the reason we're seeing lackluster, or I guess less AAAs or marquee titles, is because of Game Pass. I really think that has something to do with it. They're trying to entice people to spend the money instead of giving us everything for free. So it makes sense if you ultimately think about it. Maybe I'm just jumping the gun, but a lot of people in the community think that I'm onto something here with that. And it's just because, I mean, look at it. Ever since Game Pass, we've virtually had no big titles. And you look at PlayStation, it's like the last 4 or 5 months now, they've given you like a solid AAA experience as part of their, PlayStation Plus games.
Well, look at State of Decay going to Games Pass instead of Games with Gold. Like, we've got State of Decay 2 coming out on the horizon here. State of Decay would have been an amazing addition to Games with Gold for October.
They might do it next year, though, when it gets closer to that game actually releasing, though. Because remember, that game's not releasing until spring of next year. So it still has time to come to Games with Gold.
Yeah,
and my theory still stands, where like the whole, I think that games that have sequels end up going to Games with Gold first.
But what month would be a better month for Games with Gold to get a game that has to do with zombies than October?
Oh, okay, first off, they kind of screwed that one up with like Outlast when they brought it out. I think it was like in November or something, when it should have come out in October. Like, we had this whole big discussion about the exact same thing. They seem to just not really put their like games to go like match the month, so we're not really surprised.
They should have gave us Alien Isolation this month. That would have been cool.
That would have been great.
But
although I already have it, and I don't have the other 2 games that are coming to Xbox One, so I'm
I don't want no
that.
scary games, because then SheWulf's going to make me play them.
Yeah, I would. We would, people. Like, she's gonna play Resident Evil 7, so be ready, damn it.
Oh my god, why did I bring this up?
Because you did.
But yeah, you guys both have great points. With what SheWulf said, with what Newfie said, I mean, but at the end of the day,
you can't complain about free games, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's free games, and maybe a lot of us have played them. Like I said this again on one of the other podcasts, I was just saying, like, the problem is, the majority of us, or at least a lot of the people in the podcast community, we're avid gamers. We're like in the small percentage gamers that buy like almost games every time they come out. Like we're the kind of gamers that have 5 or 6 games a month. So a lot of times we look at the lineup and just go, because we already own and play the games. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you just said, Mike, you said you have Alien Isolation. So even if that game had come out, you would have looked at it and went, where other people would got excited. So we have to remind ourselves that while a lot of us look at the list a little more objectively because we own and have played the games, we got to think about a vast majority of Xbox owners who are new to the ecosystem, who've never played these games, and they're like a super big bonus for those people. Not so much us, but for them, it's a huge thing. And like you said, can you really complain about a free thing? If you're already paying for the service, it's a no-brainer. It's just a bonus. You can't really fault anybody for that.
Right. Well, and at the same time, you were saying you were going to kind of pass on Gone Home because it's a walking simulator. Please, everybody out there, do not pass on this game. Even if you don't play it this month, download it. It's one of the free games with gold, and it is. I mean, I've heard so many people tell me that this is a great game. Even if you're not into walking simulators, hold on to this game, keep it in your library, play it a month or 2 from now, play it a year from now. You're going to appreciate this game, especially if you like games like What Remains of Edith Finch. You're going to really, really enjoy Gone Home.
You know, people who don't really like walking simulators, I'm kind of surprised, because really, if you like TV shows or you like movies, really, that's all walking simulators are. It's just a way to experience a game or like a TV show type movie thing where you're involved in it. Like, that's how I look at them, which is why I enjoy them so much. So, but that's just me, I guess. But
Oh,
I do.
and
also-
I was gonna say though, like with the Xbox Live games, that also goes back on the whole, PlayStation Plus games. Even those, there's a lot of great games that the gamers have the opportunity to download for free and enjoy. Like you have Metal Gear Solid, you have Monster Jam Background, you have Hue, which is an amazing game, guys.
Yes, it is.
You have Skyforce Anniversary, and I believe the other one is what is it, Hustle Kings or something, or
Some of those are on the PS3 though, so yeah.
well, yes, I just said PlayStation Plus. I didn't say straight up
Oh, okay.
PlayStation 4. I just said they're your PlayStation Plus games. So
Yeah,
it's just there's a lot of free games, guys, and I think you guys should check them out no matter which console you're on. Even Steam has a lot of great sales. Like for Steam players, there was a Humble Bundle or something the website is. They actually had Outlast completely free for PC. So for any of you PC gamers, go check out the deals there. There's a lot of great games that you can find that are actually usually on sale or possibly free. So just saying.
Are you gonna get the Amnesia collection for the PlayStation?
No, we're actually selling our PlayStation. But
Oh, okay. That works. That works.
Well, reasons of anyways. But
Understandable.
anyways, so we're looking again the Pro, so but that'll obviously be at a later date. So but other than that, anyone else have anything else they want to add about this before
Actually, Wolf, I think the reason why they're not putting like in October no horror games in there for October, because you're looking to sell your horror games in October. That probably be the month that most of your horror games are sell. So why would you put them for free? You can sell, you get more sales off of them, and this their highlight month for sales.
that is true.
Yeah,
Right.
good point.
Yeah, I think, but I do feel what Newf saying about the Game Pass though. I think that's going excuse me, ultimately hinder games with gold, even though it's still free. So I'm not tripping. Like whatever games they give me, if I don't have them, I might try them out later date. To me, it's just like he said, it's just a bonus. So I don't really do no politics about it. It's just if we get it, that's cool. If we don't, it's cool. If it's a game that I want, I'm gonna purchase it. I look at it for like the Timmys and the Toms and the all the young kids that don't have all these games because they don't work, they still in school, they don't have excess money to just go purchase things because they're not grown.
Right.
So it's more catered to them. So when I see those little games in there, I'm more excited for like the younger gamers. Okay, I know they probably are like that. It's gonna be good for them. For us older gamers, more mature gamers, what I'm saying, or the hardcore gamers, what I'm saying, it's not really for you because, like you say, you purchase all the games you are gonna get anyway. So Game Pass and Game Preview is more for the casual gamers and the kids. So I think no matter how they do it, at the end of the day, it's gonna work out in their favor. So it's either get a Game Pass or you get your games with gold. Depends on what I'm saying, what the parents get you.
Exactly.
Well, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see some of the scarier games like Alien Isolation and Resident Evil 7, games like that. I know when I bought Alien Isolation, it was on a sale for Games with Gold. I want to say it was around last Halloween. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see games like that going on sale with Games with Gold. Not
Yep.
Games with Gold, but Deals with Gold coming towards the second half of the month there.
Exactly.
Yeah, Friday the 13th I think was on sale last week. So yeah.
Which, it's definitely a way to look at it. I'm sure there will be Halloween sales and all that fun stuff that you guys can all check out. But,
Yeah, I think there's one up on the PlayStation right now. Their Halloween month or whatever. It's up already where you can get discounts on some of the scarier games, I guess you could call it.
that is true. But alright guys, sorry to cut this show a little short this week, but there's some things that I have to get to tonight. So, with further ado, I would like to say thank you for everyone who has stopped in, hung out, and stayed in the chat. You guys are all amazing. We love seeing you guys each and every week hanging out with us. I'm going to let these amazing gamers tell you where you can find them, what they're doing, and what to expect in the upcoming time. So going down the list, we'll start with our guest of tonight's show, which was Triple Cup.
Okay, well, thank y'all for having me out here. I enjoyed myself, saying perfect time, everything happened for a reason. Cuphead just came out, saying I'm blessed to come back on this podcast and be a part of the team again that all talk about games. I enjoyed myself. I had fun, saying everybody on the chat, thanks for the support. Y'all can all find me on Twitter. You can find me on the Xbox, or you can find me on YouTube, come holler at me, leave a little like, comment, I conversate back and forth, and everything is going to be at Triple Cup Chuck. Triple Cup one word, then Chuck the other word, and I'm going to be doing a lot of Cuphead.
Awesome. We are happy to have you, and we appreciate that you took time out to come hang out with us. So, next up we have is Newf.
First of all, Triple Cup Chuck's glad to have you here, my friend. It's always a good time when you're on the show. So appreciate you being here with us. Another surprise appearance. I know we don't do this very often, but I will give a special shout out to one of our new viewers, Snake Eyes, who I think is checking out our console corner for the first time. So thanks for coming and checking out the show. If you missed most of it, don't worry, you can always catch it on the replay later on. And to everybody that's been in the chat hanging out with us, we appreciate all of you guys. You're super awesome. As far as what I got going on, guys, well, I'm going to get back to playing some Cuphead, see if I can get through it a little bit further. I'm going to try to get some more videos done at some point as well. I have a bunch of videos up online right now that are fairly recent, including my SNES Classic unboxing. Go check it out if you want to see at least Newf's take on the unboxing. At least towards the end, there is one funny comment that has yet to be taken down or demonetized yet by YouTube, which is kind of funny. And I did, what else did I do there? I did Cletus plays that World Fishing Games or whatever. So if you want to check out Cletus's latest action, go check it out there on my channel. Again, all the links are down below. Had a great, fantastic time. We miss you, GKB. Hopefully you can make it back for the next one. That's it for me, guys. You have yourself a great night, and we'll see you online.
What about you, Mike?
Hey, well, everybody can see all my contact information in the description below. Most importantly, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Xbox Live, and I will be here every Tuesday night for the next episode of the Console Corner. With the exception of next week, it's my wedding anniversary on October 10th,
Aww.
so I won't be here next Tuesday, but I will be here the Tuesday after that, as long as SheWulf and GKB allow me to return.
Really?
Oh,
You make us
that's
sound like we're mean, like we'd fire you.
I
or
know, right? You
something.
make it sound like y'all strict.
I swear, you
Contract
guys make it sound
expired or
so
what?
mean.
No,
that's
that's
funny.
not what I
Cry.
meant
I'm
at
gonna
all.
go somewhere and cry, and then I'll just not be on the console corner anymore.
Damn, Mike, you
that's
see
how
what
I
you
feel
did,
after
Mike?
the stream.
Damn.
Anyway,
I'm gonna tell you, wifey.
Anyway, Foxy, where can they find you?
You find me on YouTube here, hanging out with you guys every week, and on Gaming Den. And if you haven't seen Gaming,
Oh yeah.
if you haven't seen Gaming Den, check it out from last Friday. It was awesome. Me and SheWulf were rocking out and talking about awesome topics, and some Cuphead as well. Fresh off her rant after she was playing it.
So pissed.
Yeah. So yeah, check it out, Gaming Den. I'm on Twitter, as you guys know, because you guys were DMing me. And I share Foxy deals on there. I do YouTube videos. Also, I just want to say thank you to Dazzy for always sharing our links and stuff in the chat. I appreciate it. And thank you to Luca for giving us the Cuphead code to give away. And I hope you enjoy it, Supersonic. You're awesome, bro.
We're gonna have to start paying like Daz for like PR work. No, we're broke. We can't do that. But we do really appreciate it. And make sure
Yeah,
you guys
check
go
out
and
Dazzy.
check out UK Daz. He's got Twitter and all that fun stuff. Make sure you guys go check him out because he's an amazing gamer as well. But yeah, I was your host of tonight's episode. Hopefully I didn't destroy it too badly. I am SheWulf. You can obviously find me on Mixer. I have been doing a lot of streaming.
She lives on Mixer, you guys.
I do live on Mixer pretty much. That's kind of where I guess kind of flowed to was Mixer. I'm actually in the middle of my partner push right now. So other than that, you can find me at mixer.com/xSHEWULFx with a U, not an O. I stream Monday to Friday from 8 in the morning until 12 o'clock. You guys are always welcome to come and join and hang out with me. I actually have some cool surprises for the month of October. we're going to be playing some Halloween games, and I'm actually going to be dressing up. And one of the first costumes I'm hoping to do will actually be a SheWulf, so it should be interesting.
Oh,
And
damn.
yeah, so I have some cool costume ideas that I want to do, so hopefully you guys come and check it out and have some fun with me. Also, if there's anyone willing to dress up on these days, I am willing to do co-streams with you, so if you do have that in mind, please DM me, and would love to set that up, because I think it would be really fun. So other than that, check me out on Twitter, which is xSHEWULFx with you, not a no. Everything is the same, guys. All of our information is in the description below. And of course, you can find all of GKB's information there as well. We do miss him, and hopefully he will be back next week. And with that, I guess the last thing to say is, have a great week, and we are out.
Professional.
Drop the bomb.
Hey, that was a good show.
Tonight we're running on the right track.